Yes. Jai Hind and hello everyone. Welcome back to Crack Grade B. This is Sunil Jangad, and in our previous lecture, we were discussing preposition. So it's day fourth in preposition today, and it's fourth class today if you talk about preposition. So in today's class, we shall discuss some of the important concepts regarding prepositions. And as I said, this chapter, if you talk about, this is the one of the most important chapters from your exam point of view. So let us discuss what are the concepts, what are the important concepts in today's class, and kindly share this session with all your friends and relatives. Invite them all. It is going to be very important session, very important lecture today, right? So share the session everywhere with all your friends and relatives. Invite them all and subscribe the channel Crack Grade B if you have not subscribed yet. Okay, so let us move to the next concept. In the last lecture, we discussed some of the words which demand a preposition of. You have the entire list, right? What are the words you have before you, right? So these are the words with which we use a preposition of, but make it sure in some situations these were demand different prepositions, some different prepositions. So as I said, it totally depends on the situation, it totally depends on the reference or what type of preposition it demands. Usually these words demand preposition of, but apart from of, we can use some other prepositions also with all these words, right? So we have completed all these words we have covered. So let us learn something else. Okay, and the concept is, yes, first sentence you have, if I say, the sentence is, first sentence, we are looking for a place. We are looking for a place conducive for studying. This is the first sentence, right? And the sentence is, we are looking for a place conducive for studying, right? In this sentence, you have a word conducive. Conducive means something that is helpful. So conducive means helpful, you can say. Okay, in this sentence, as we know, you have a word conducive. This word is adjective in nature, right? And this adjective demands a preposition, and after this adjective you have preposition for. And as we know, word preposition are always used before noun or pronoun. So word studying is what? It is a noun, it is a gerund, right? So make it sure conducive is a word which always demands a preposition to, not for. Conducive demand to. So sentence will be, if you write like, we are looking for a place conducive to studying, right? If you just say we are looking for a place conducive to studying, I just want to inform you that some of the words in English, दे डिमांड अ preposition टू. कुछ ऐसे वर्ड्स हम जानेंगे आज की क्लास में, ठीक है, जो अपने साथ एक preposition टू की डिमांड करते हैं, किसी दूसरी preposition गिवन करके उनके साथ अक्सर एरर दी जाती है. एंड एग्जाम्पल इफ यू टॉक अबाउट, in this sentence, word conducive, it demands a preposition to, not for. So replace for with to. Okay, replace for with to, sentence will be fine. So let us move to the entire list, or what are the words which demand a preposition to. You have several words like familiar, equal, equivalent, similar, beneficial, harmful, injurious, essential, necessary, conducive. You have a word like conducive. Here you have conducive, ear, ears, junior, senior, anterior, posterior, superior, inferior, prior, elder, preferable, prefer, prone, immune, addicted, accustomed, object, devote, averse, look forward, next, opposite, answer, access, non, answerable, obliged, with a view, relevant, right, applicable, adhere, juxtapose, allure, and succeed, resign, vulnerable, antidote, loyal, adjacent, parallel, solution, allergic, right? These are the words which demand a preposition, and that preposition must be what? To will be there. Okay, so these are the words. So same thing happen in the sentence. Word conducive, it demands a preposition to. Okay, in this list you have a word, and that word is succeed. This is the verb. Okay, let us discuss this word. If I say, just take an example. First sentence, if I say Akbar succeeded, we are we shall talk about, we shall discuss a verb succeed. Akbar succeeded blank his father Humayun. First sentence, Akbar succeeded blank his father Humayun. Next sentence is Akbar succeeded blank his plans. Akbar succeeded blank his plans. And the third sentence is Akbar succeeded blank the throne at his early age. At his early age. Different three sentences you have. Okay, these are three different sentences, and in all the sentences we shall discuss a word succeed. Okay, so make it sure. In the first sentence it is said Akbar succeeded blank his father Humayun. So the concept is, whenever you use a verb succeed, when we use a verb succeed to show the sense of to follow, right? Okay, as I said, in the first sentence, verb succeed, when succeed shows the sense of, it shows the sense of to follow, right? To show the sense of to follow, it will always be a transitive verb. Now it becomes a transitive verb, and make it sure, if it becomes transitive verb, don't use any preposition after that particular transitive verb. It never demands a preposition if verb is transitive verb. And as I said, whenever a verb succeed shows the sense of to follow, like in the sentence it is said Akbar succeeded, means Akbar followed his father Humayun. It means ke Akbar became a king after his father Humayun. It is being said, right? So to show the sense of to follow, verb succeed will be a transitive verb, and transitive verb never demand a preposition after that. Okay, so don't use any preposition, but make it sure, when this verb succeed, whenever this verb succeed shows the sense of to be successful, to be successful, in that situation this verb will always be intransitive verb. And if it becomes intransitive verb, in that situation we use a preposition in with intransitive verb succeed, right? Like in the sentence, Akbar succeeded in his plans means Akbar was successful in his plans. To show the sense of to be successful, it becomes an intransitive verb and now it demands a preposition in, right? So second sentence is okay, Akbar succeeded in his plans. But if you talk about third sentence, make it sure whenever this verb succeed, whenever this verb succeed shows the sense of to take over, whenever it shows the sense of to take over, right? It again becomes intransitive verb and now we use a preposition to with succeed. You know, we have a phrasal verb and the phrasal verb is succeed to. Succeed to means to take over, right? And succeed in means to be successful. These becomes phrasal verbs, right? Succeed in means to become successful, and succeed to means to take over, right? So here in the last sentence it is said Akbar succeeded blank the throne his early age, यानी कि उसकी अर्ली एज में ही उसने थ्रोन को, जो एक राजगद्दी थी, उसको उसने टेक ओवर कर लिया, अपने कंट्रोल में कर लिया, राइट? तो टेक ओवर की सेंस को शो करने के लिए सक्सीड जो वर्ब है उसके साथ हम एक प्रेपोजिशन टू का यूज किया करते हैं. ये सिचुएशन कंडीशन आप लोगों के सामने रहती हैं. ओके, in previous lectures we have discussed a word, and the word is what we have already discussed. Some of the words like you can say answer, we have already discussed. Where is word answer? Yes, like this, answer or access, right? Non, we have already discussed. Like you just go through these sentences here. These are the words. These are the words like answerable, responsible, accountable, obliged, thankful, grateful, and we have a verb non. All these words demand a preposition to, and apart from to, it also demands a preposition for. Whenever we talk about persons, they demand to, and whenever we talk about things, these words demand a preposition for. So this is the concept. So let us move to the next case, and the concept is okay, just take some example. If I say the man said blank nothing, right? And the man said blank nobody. Two different sentences. Next sentence, the teacher explained blank the chapter blank his students. The teacher explained blank the chapter blank his students. Second sentence. And the third sentence is the man reported blank the incident blank his boss we pray blank God. We pray blank God. Okay, these are the sentences, right? These are the sentences, and in all the sentences we have a verb. Like in the first sentence we have a verb said, right? This is also, again you have a verb said. In the second sentence we have a verb, and the verb is what? Explain. Second form of the verb explain is explained. Okay, you know what is the concept? If you talk about some of the verbs, if you just categorize verb, there are two types of verb. Transitive, one is transitive, and second one is intransitive, right? I said verbs are of two type. One is transitive, and you know what are transitive verbs? Transitive verbs are those which demand an object, right? Transitive verb always demand an object, right? And if you talk about intransitive verb are those which never demand an object. Actually, they demand a preposition after that. Okay. So if you talk about these are the verbs when you talk about person. In case of person, if you find an object, and if that particular object denotes to things, denotes to things. In case of things, these verbs become transitive verb, and in case of persons, these verbs become what? Intransitive verb, right? And this person denotes to receiver or recipient, you can say. This receiver demand a preposition to before that. I said कि कुछ वर्ब ऐसी होती हैं, कुछ वर्ब्स के बारे में हम बात करें तो दो तरीके से वर्ब होती हैं, एक ट्रांजिटिव एक इंट्रांजिटिव। ट्रांजिटिव जिनके बाद में आपको कोई ऑब्जेक्ट मिलता है, जबकि इंट्रांजिटिव वर्ब्स के बाद में वी डोंट हैव एनी ऑब्जेक्ट, राइट? ओके, तो सम सेलेक्टेड वर्ब्स की बात यदि हम करें, लाइक से, एक्सप्लेन, रिपोर्ट और प्रे, दीज आर द वर्ब्स। इनके बाद में जब भी आपको कोई ऑब्जेक्ट, यदि थिंग्स को बताने वाला ऑब्जेक्ट मिलता है, डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट मिलता है, तो डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट के लिए ये वर्ब्स ट्रांजिटिव वर्ब का एक्ट करती हैं। डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट, थिंग्स डिनोटिंग ऑब्जेक्ट्स के लिए ये वर्ब ट्रांजिटिव वर्ब बन जाती है, जबकि लिविंग नाउन्स के लिए ये वर्ब इंट्रांजिटिव वर्ब बन जाया करती हैं। पर्सन को डिनोट करने वाला यदि कोई नाउन मिलेगा तो उसके लिए इंट्रांजिटिव वर्ब बन जाती हैं। और इंट्रांजिटिव वर्ब जब ये हो जाएंगी तो इनके साथ एक प्रेपोजिशन टू लगती है, और ये जो प्रेपोजिशन टू होती है प्रेपोजिशन ऑफ रेसिपिएंट होती है, या फिर रिसीवर की के लिए जो प्रेपोजिशन यूज की जाती है वो ये जो है डिमांड करती है। वही मैंने कहा, इन केस ऑफ थिंग्स these verbs will always be transitive. In case of persons, these verbs will become intransitive, and this person will become receiver or recipient. In that particular situation, before receiver or recipient, we use a preposition to. This is the main concept actually. So let us apply it in the sentence. In the first sentence, this verb said, and you have an object. This word nothing, it denotes to things, and an object which denotes to things is always direct object. In case of direct object, this verb will become intransitive. In case of things, it will become transitive, and transitive verbs don't demand any preposition. So sentence will be like, the man said nothing. Okay, but in the next sentence, after this verb you have an object. This nobody denotes to what? Denotes to persons. And in case of person, this will become intransitive verb, and this, before this receiver, before this recipient, with this intransitive verb we use a preposition to. Now we use a preposition to. So same thing happens in the next sentence. If you talk about this verb explained, okay, so after this verb we have a direct object. Direct object means which denote to things, and this verb have another object, and this object his students, it denotes to persons, and the object which denotes to persons, that is always indirect object, right? So as I said, these are the verbs. In case of things, these become transitive verbs, so don't use any preposition here. But in case of persons, these verb will become intransitive verb. Now we will use a preposition to, and now this become receiver. Before receiver we use a preposition to. So these are some verbs of communication, you can say. These are some verbs of communication which vary according to the object. If these verbs get an object which denotes to things, for that type of object these verbs become transitive. And if you get an object which denotes to persons, For persons, these verb will become intransitive verb, and this person will become receiver recipient. Before receiver recipient, we use a preposition to. So this is the concept actually. Sentence will be like, the teacher explained the chapter to his students. Okay. So let us talk about third sentence. In the third sentence, again you have a verb reported, second form of the verb report. After this verb, you have an object incident. This is direct object. Another object you have, that is his boss. This is indirect object denoting persons. Now this become receiver or recipient. Here we use preposition to, and for this direct object this become transitive, so don't use any preposition here. Sentence will be like, the man reported the incident to his boss, word for word. Same thing happen here in the last sentence. In the last sentence you can say, this verb pray is transitive verb. Reason, we have an object God, and God is considered indirect object, means any entity you have which is doing everything, right? God is considered as any living entity, you can say, right? So this is indirect object, and for indirect object we use a preposition to. So we always speak like, we pray to God, we pray to God early in the morning, we just speak like that. So what are the verbs of communication? Our main concept is, what are the verbs of communication? These are the verbs, right? These are the verbs like said, proposed, suggested, explained, described, announced, reported, listened, wrote, spoke, object, talk, reply, pray, and complained. These are the verbs which demand to. These verbs demand to before an indirect object. An indirect object is what? That denotes to person, or you can say that is living noun or pronoun. An object which denotes to living noun or pronoun, or you can say which denote to persons, that is indirect object. So in case of indirect object, these verbs demand a preposition to. This is the concept actually, right? So let us move to the next sentence. Let us move to the next sentence. If I say, the thief requested blank me not to call the police. Not to call the police. Now we shall discuss some other verbs of communication, like you have a verb requested, right? And make it sure, in case of persons, these verbs will always be transitive. Now verb request is a transitive verb. How can you just make it sure that this is transitive verb? Because this is the reply of whom. How can you put questions like, whom did the thief request? Whom did the thief request? Your reply will be like, the thief requested me. So this verb requested is pure transitive verb, and after these verbs we don't use any preposition. So if you talk about verbs like which are always transitive, you have another list. Like these are the verbs: he told, asked, begged, informed, apprised, assured, greeted, advised, ordered, requested, thanked, welcomed, congratulated, wished, warned, forbade, complimented, allowed, called, promised, and threatened. These are the verbs which are always transitive when you get an object which denotes to person or animals. Mean to say, in case of living noun or pronouns, these verbs will always be transitive, and transitive verbs don't demand any preposition after that, right? So now you have come to know two different types of verbs of communication, right? Two different types of verbs you have come to know, right? Some of the verbs which demand to before receiver, means in case of indirect object, these verbs were these verbs were you can say intransitive verbs, these demand preposition to। ये वो वर्ब थी जो पर्सन को डिनोट करने वाले नाउन प्रोनाउन से पहले टू की डिमांड करती थी, इंट्रांजिटिव वर्ब बन जाती थी। फिर हमने एक लिस्ट ये जानी, अब ये वो लिस्ट है, ये वो वर्ब्स हैं जो पर्सन्स के केस में हमेशा ये वर्ब होंगी आपकी ट्रांजिटिव, और ट्रांजिटिव वर्ब्स के साथ में कोई भी preposition यूज नहीं की जाती है। आई होप यू आर गेटिंग माई पॉइंट, right? You are getting my point. Okay, let us move to the next case. Okay, let us discuss some of the fixed prepositions and the sentences I am highly annoyed blank him blank his stupidity. Okay, I am highly annoyed blank him blank his stupidity. First sentence, okay, in this sentence you have an adjective, and the adjective is what? Annoyed. This is the linking verb, am is the linking verb, and linking verbs are followed by an adjective. So what is the concept? The concept is some of the adjectives like angry, annoy, vexed, exasperated, right? All these four words are adjectives, you can say. These are the adjectives, and make it sure these adjectives demand two different prepositions. When these adjectives are followed by an object which denotes two persons, right? In case of persons, these words demand a preposition with, but in case of things, these words demand a preposition at. This is the concept. Adjectives like angry, annoy, vexed, exasperated, these words, if these words are followed by a noun or pronoun which denotes two persons, they demand with before that particular person. And if these adjectives are followed by a noun or pronoun which denotes two things, before things denoting noun we use a preposition at. Like sentence will be, I am highly annoyed with him, I'm highly annoyed with him. This him denotes two persons. Before persons I said we use a preposition with, and this word stupidity, this word denotes two things, and in case of things denoting noun we use a preposition at. Sentence will be like, I am highly annoyed with him at his stupidity. Okay, so let us move to the next sentence, and the next sentence is, we were surprised blank the stunt man blank his stunts. Yes, sentences, we were surprised blank the stunt man blank his stunts. Okay, what is the concept? The concept is, some of the verbs we have like surprise, shocked, astonished, startled, amazed, amused. These are the verbs. Make it sure this verb amuse. This verb amuse means to entertain. This verb amuse means to entertain. Rest all these five words. Rest all these 5 words are synonym, you can say. Surprised, shocked, astonished, startled, amazed. These are the synonyms. But if you talk about a word, a verb, amuse, amuse means to entertain, right? If you get any of these 6 words in a sentence, any of these 6 words, right? What will be the concept of preposition? Make it sure. if you if you find a noun or pronoun, person denoting noun pronoun, so in case of persons we use a preposition by. This person will become doer, okay. But in case of things we use a preposition at with any of these words. Two preposition will be used. First one is by, before person denoting nouns, before doer. uh, Person denoting noun, before doer we use a preposition by, and if a noun or pronoun denotes to things we use a preposition at. Let us apply it in the sentence. Like in this sentence we have a verb surprised, and after this verb you have an object stuntman. It denotes to person, right? Another object we have, and that is his stunts. It denotes to things, right? So with verb surprise we use a preposition surprised with the stuntman at his stunts. By the stuntman, sorry, we were surprised by the stuntman at his stunts. This concept will be applied if you just want to improve the sentence. So mean to say, by all these examples I just want to prove that you must be all ears, or you can say you must be all eyes whenever you are learning prepositions, because this is quite technical chapter, you can say. And words which we are discussing, these words demand different preposition according to the reference or according to the situation, right? There is nothing certain in preposition ke this word only demand a preposition. No, many preposition can be there with the words, but it depends on the situation or reference, or you can see the requirement. It depends on requirement ki in which particular situation we are going to use these words, right? So be attentive, be careful while you learn prepositions, because I said this is the most technical chapter, you can say, in entire English. Okay, let us discuss some more examples. And the first sentence is, I did not knock blank the door. I did not knock blank the door. I heard some knock blank the door. I heard some knock blank the door, right? Yes, two different sentences you have. Okay, what is the concept? Hey Bhagwan. Okay, in both the sentences, you can just check, we have a word knock, right? And this word knock, make it sure these words are used in different sense. This word will become a verb, this word acts as a verb and acts as a noun, right? This word knock has two different part of speech. First one is this word is used as a verb, transitive verb, and second one is that is noun. So for example, if you talk about in both the sentences, this helping verb did demands a main verb. So this word knock is a main verb, right? This is the main verb. This is transitive verb, right? And here verb heard is verb. Before this is subject, and after verb this is object, this is noun. So make it sure whenever it is used as a verb, this will always be a transitive verb. Don't use any preposition. But whenever it is used as a noun, use a preposition on with it, right? So sentence will be, I did not knock the door. Knock, not. When this word is used as a verb, it demands a preposition at. But whenever it is used as a noun, we use a preposition on. So sentence will be like, sentence will be, I heard some no, I did not knock at the door, and I heard some knock on the door. Sentence will be like this, okay? So these are two different sentences. Knock verb जब knock word जब verb का वर्क करता है तो उसके साथ एक preposition at आती है, और जब knock noun का act करता है तो noun के तौर पे उसके साथ में एक preposition जो यूज की जाती है वो on रहा करती है, ठीक है? ये केस आप लोगों का बनता है, डन कर रहे हो, ठीक है? तो आज के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं, और it's enough from my side. And I just keep my finger crossed for you. Keep sharing these sessions with your friends and make it sure that you will have your classes of English at 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. right? So be here at 4 p.m. On Monday we shall discuss some of the you can say we shall discuss fillers, right? On Monday we shall start fillers, and one or two classes will be there if you talk about preposition, but we shall start fillers on Monday. So be here at 4 p.m. And you have your classes from Monday to Friday, right? So it's enough from my side. Keep sharing these videos, these sessions with your friends, and subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed. So it's enough from my side. Take care. Goodbye. Love you all. Thank you.